David Stewart, Village President for the Village of North Utica. The biggest thing I guess we started with when I first came on is we hung lights over our downtown block on Mill Street. So before there was no overhead lights over there, we were approached by someone, asked about to do something like that. So we decided to go ahead and hang the lights over Mill Street with the thought that maybe we would do some outdoor dining at some point throughout its life on there. When we first put the lights up there, I thought, well, this would be a great thing to have to start right away. And honestly, it kind of got a little bit of opposition. A lot of people didn't think that they needed that due to the parking. They didn't want to lose the parking spots. And then 2020 rolls around, and COVID kind of forced that issue. We actually set it up in about a 4 or 5 day span. We had literally no notice when we knew the businesses were going to be able to reopen for outdoor dining. We just immediately kicked in and started doing that, and it just took off. We're very unique in the fact that a lot of other towns don't have streets where they can close like we have. A lot of streets run through state right-of-way. Ours was realigned after the 2004 tornado, so we were able to take ownership of that street, so we own it, and we were able to turn into what is now the outdoor dining there for the summer months.
My name is Jamie Turgeon. I'm the Director of Village Affairs for the Village of North Utica. The tornado came through in 2004, April 20th, 2004, so we just, 20 years just came by, and it came through the downtown, it went across the canal, and then it took the downtown, and we actually lost 8 lives. I mean, it took, probably a couple months. Everybody jumped in after the initial tornado. People came in, people from everywhere came and helped us out. And then it was just slowly, what do we do first? And Fred Esmond at the time, the mayor, he did a great job stepping in and just taking control. And the first big thing was probably that realignment of 178. And obviously that took a lot of time because you're including village, state, all sorts of agencies in that. And then we're still rebuilding. We're still, this market on Mill has been empty since that tornado. And now we finally got a grant to rebuild that and put something there other than a gravel parking lot. We heard about a grant called the Rebuild Main Street and Downtown Illinois grants. So we were able to acquire all the property that is an empty block on Mill Street right now that was all destroyed from the 2004 tornado. Now that we owned everything, we figured we could do something with it. But the problem with that area was it's in a floodplain. So any developer that comes in has to build that up out of the floodplain, and it's a high cost to do that. Plus they still have to carry flood insurance for at least a year. So we decided maybe we should develop that block. So we went ahead and drew up some designs, and we decided to apply for the grant utilizing that. And we wound up being awarded the grant. And as we've gone along, we've made a lot of changes to it. So right now it's going to have 12 by 12 buildings on there. I think with the capacity of 16 is where we capped it. And it's basically, like I said, they're basically business incubators. So a lot of people that have small businesses, they're running them out of their home, or they want to run, but they don't have the capital to afford that large brick and mortar. This is an opportunity for them to try to showcase themselves in a building like this and maybe be successful enough to get a brick and mortar building somewhere. We've always had TIF. We've got 5 different TIF areas in town. The downtown area, we've done some subdivisions with that, so we've helped a few of our developers be able to put in some of the new subdivisions for the homes. We do have 2 TIFs currently on top of the hill. 2008 we had a lot of great developers coming in wanting to do stuff, but then 2008 hit and a lot of that stuff kind of went by the wayside. So those TIFs are still in place, so we're hoping that would entice developers to come and develop something in the future. So that would probably be our next big, I guess, adventure, is that we'd like to get some development up by the interstate.
I consider that one of my biggest accomplishments since I've been in the position is getting this building that we're currently in. We purchased the building back in 2020. We remodeled it and we moved in right at the very end of 2021. So this was formerly the Utica Grade School, then consolidated with Waltham. So we decided that it would be a good idea to purchase this building and turn it into the village offices and the community center to have, because we have a rather large gymnasium that we could use for things like that. And where this school is located is what I consider the heart of Utica. It's the first thing you see when you come in, it's the last thing you see when you leave.
One of the other projects after we did the realignment of 178 was it was a state project again. A lot of our projects have been state projects that have put some of our projects kind of back a little bit, but it's been good in the long run. We had a new bridge built over the river on 178. So within that new bridge, there's been a shared use path that was put in, and then the village decided to extend that into town, the last little section there from D. Bennett Road into town. So now there is a shared use path that you can get you from downtown Utica all the way to Starved Rock State Park. So whether it's biking, walking, you could park downtown and get into the park.
I believe that construction started around 2007 when 178 used to actually go right downtown Mill Street. That was 178. So I think the fear back then was no one's going to see my business, no one's going to come here anymore, and I think that's the exact opposite. I think that there's been some wayfaring signs to let people know where the businesses are, and I think it's actually helped out tremendously having this realignment done.
I would say just don't give up. I mean, you know, you're going to get, like I said, 2008, you're going to get a lot of people back out. You're going to get really excited about projects that aren't going to happen, but just keep moving forward. This grant came up for the Market on Mill, which luckily we were able to get that. We're really excited about it. We are putting in for an ITEP grant to put some sidewalks at the south end of town. We really want to connect our north end and our south end. And so the first time we didn't get it, but they said, hey, try again. So it's 2 years later, so we're going to reapply. You know, we're just going to keep going, and hopefully this time we'll be fortunate enough to get that money.